Most people imagine retirement in Australia as endless days on Sydney's beaches or sipping coffee in Melbourne's laneways. But what if I told you the real gems are tucked away in places you've probably never heard of? From mountain towns with crisp winter air to seaside escapes where the median home price won't empty your savings, these small towns are where retirement dreams quietly come alive. And here's the twist. Not all of them are on the coast. In fact, one of Australia's top-ranked retirement spots sits inland, far from the ocean. Surprised? You should be. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have discovered 10 of the best hidden towns in Australia to live or retire. And trust me, you'll want to pack your bags before we're done. Quick question before we dive in. Would you rather retire by the sea, by the river, or somewhere green and inland? Drop your choice in the comments now. I want to see which lifestyle wins. Number 1. Armidale, New South Wales. What if I told you the best retirement town in Australia isn't even on the coast? Meet Armidale, the hidden giant of New South Wales. This isn't your typical sleepy retirement town. Ranked as Australia's #1 retirement destination, Armidale blends history, culture, and affordability into one surprising package. Picture this: crisp mountain air, 4 real seasons. Yes, you'll see leaves change color in autumn, which is rare for much of Australia. On one side, you've got heritage sandstone buildings, cathedrals, and the University of New England, bringing youthful energy into the mix. On the other, vineyards, national parks, and a cost of living that doesn't feel like daylight robbery. Healthcare? Covered. Armidale is a regional hub with hospitals and medical centers that make it practical for older residents. And unlike the mega-coastal cities, you're not competing with swarms of tourists every weekend. But here's the kicker. Armidale proves that the best retirement town doesn't have to be a beach town. It breaks the stereotype completely. Quick engagement. Would you ever consider retiring inland, away from the beach? Type yes or no below. I'm curious how many of you would trade surf for seasons. And if Armidale shocked you, wait until you hear about its rivals, towns that thrive on heritage, affordability, and natural charm. But let's head north, where cane fields and tropical skies hide another surprise. Number 2. Ingham, Queensland. Drive through northern Queensland and you'll stumble across a small town with a big heart. Ingham. At first glance, it feels like a sugarcane town, but scratch the surface and you'll find an Italian soul beating strong. Nicknamed Little Italy, Ingham is home to one of the largest Italian communities in Australia. That means authentic delis, pasta festivals, and a culture that makes newcomers feel like part of the family. Imagine retirement dinners where your neighbors bring homemade salami, and the local festival feels straight out of Europe. Nature lovers? Ingham sits at the gateway to Hinchinbrook Island, a world-class wilderness with hiking, waterfalls, and untouched beaches. The town itself stays affordable. Houses here are still within reach compared to the sky-high prices of Cairns or Townsville. The climate is tropical, so yes, it's warm, humid, and green year-round. For some, that's paradise. For others, it's a deal-breaker. But the balance here is unique. Friendly community, cultural richness, and natural wonders in your backyard. Here's where Ingham breaks the mold. It shows retirement doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean living in a community where culture and nature collide every single day. If you could retire somewhere with a strong food culture, would you go Italian, Asian, or Aussie pub style? Drop your pick in the comments. Now let's leave the tropics and journey back south, where a small Victorian town offers a blend of history and quiet living most city dwellers dream about. Number 3. Maryborough, Victoria. In the heart of Victoria sits Maryborough, a town born in the gold rush but reborn as a retirement haven. If Armidale was surprising and Ingham was vibrant, Maryborough is all about simplicity and comfort. This is where history whispers through the streets. Victorian-era buildings, the Grand Railway Station, and a town layout that feels like stepping back in time. Here's the secret. While Melbourne property prices make most people shudder, Maryborough stays within reach. Median house prices here are dramatically lower, yet you're only a couple of hours from the city. That means retirees get the peace of country living without giving up access to urban hospitals, entertainment, or family visits. The community here is what makes it shine. Festivals, local markets, art groups, and friendly neighbors who'll actually wave when you pass by. It's everything city life has forgotten. For retirees, that sense of belonging can be priceless. And because it's surrounded by rolling countryside, weekend drives can mean vineyards, hiking trails, or just finding that one bakery in a nearby town that makes pies better than anywhere else. Maryborough proves that retirement doesn't have to mean choosing between isolation and chaos. Here, you get balance. What's more important to you in retirement, affordability or lifestyle? Comment A for affordability or L for lifestyle. But if you've been waiting for the beaches, don't worry, because now we're heading straight into South Australia, where two coastal rivals are battling for the crown. Number 4. Wallaroo, SA. Imagine a seaside town where you can walk down the jetty with a fishing rod, cast into clear waters, and know you'll be back home in minutes with tonight's dinner. That's Wallaroo, one of South Australia's best-kept secrets. Wallaroo is part of the Copper Coast, once a booming mining region, but today it thrives as a quiet coastal hub perfect for retirees. What sets it apart? Affordability. With median house prices hovering around the mid-dollar $400,000s, it offers seaside living for half the cost of many East Coast towns. Life here is about rhythm, morning swims, friendly chats at the local fish market, and afternoons spent by the marina. The beaches stretch wide and clean, perfect for long walks or family visits with grandkids. Unlike the Gold Coast or Byron Bay, you're not battling crowds or paying tourist town premiums. Wallaroo whispers freedom, the freedom to live by the sea without financial stress. Quick question. If you could fish off your front doorstep every week, would you do it? Drop a fishing hook in the comments if that sounds like your dream. But drive just an hour down the road, and you'll hit a town with a completely different energy. Busier, bolder, and buzzing with life. Number 5. Victor Harbor, SA. If Wallaroo is quiet serenity, Victor Harbor is seaside energy turned up a notch. This coastal town has long been a holiday hotspot, but in recent years it's grown into one of South Australia's most attractive retirement destinations. Why? Because it balances natural wonder with lifestyle perks. Picture whale watching from your balcony in winter, or strolling along the causeway to Granite Island where penguins and dolphins steal the show. The town's social clubs, cafes, and art scene mean you're never short of things to do. It's pricier than Wallaroo, with median home prices sitting around the $600,000s, but you're buying into a more active community with stronger services. Victor Harbor is ideal for retirees who want more than just a quiet life. It's for those who want to keep busy, stay engaged, and wake up to a town that feels alive all year round. And here's the fun twist. Locals debate endlessly about which is better, Wallaroo or Victor Harbor. One is calm and affordable, the other is lively and a little pricier. If you had to choose today, would you go Team Wallaroo or Team Victor? Type your pick below and let's settle this once and for all. But maybe you don't want either. Maybe you want something trendier, a little artsier, and still affordable. The kind of town people are whispering about as the next Byron Bay. Number 6. Dunsborough, WA. Byron Bay might get the headlines, but on Australia's west coast, Dunsborough is quietly stealing the crown. Tucked near the Margaret River wine region, Dunsborough has exploded in popularity, but not in the overcrowded, overpriced way Byron did. Instead, it's managed to hold onto its heart while becoming a magnet for retirees, artists, and lifestyle seekers. Let's break it down. First, the beaches. Soft white sand, turquoise water, and bays calm enough for swimming year-round. Second, the lifestyle. Boutique cafes, craft breweries, art galleries, and access to some of Australia's best wineries. And third, the community. It's welcoming, vibrant, and filled with people who chose this place for its balance of peace and personality. What's remarkable is how Dunsborough bridges worlds. One day, you're hiking coastal trails or exploring caves. The next, you're sipping Chardonnay at a vineyard lunch. Retirement here doesn't feel like slowing down. It feels like finally living on your own terms. No wonder people are calling it the new Byron Bay. But the difference? You won't have to sell a kidney to afford a house here. Quick question. Would you rather retire in a trendy coastal hub like Dunsborough or a quiet town like Armidale? Drop T for trendy or Q for quiet in the comments. Now that we've seen the clash of seaside and trendy, let's slow things down. Because sometimes the perfect retirement town isn't about the beach at all. It's about the calm of the river. Number 7. Echuca, Victoria. If the ocean doesn't call to you, maybe the Murray River will. Welcome to Echuca, one of Victoria's most charming retirement towns. Echuca isn't just any riverside spot. It's the paddle steamer capital of Australia. Picture the slow chug of historic boats along the river, festivals lighting up the town, and locals gathering at the wharf for weekend markets. It's living history, but with all the modern comforts. What makes Echuca a retirement gem? It's the combination of affordability, lifestyle, and accessibility. Houses here cost a fraction of Melbourne's, yet you're just a couple of hours' drive from the city. Healthcare is solid, the community is tight-knit, and the pace of life? Relaxed but never boring. And then there's the social side. wine regions nearby, local theater groups, riverside restaurants, and events that keep the calendar full. It's retirement with texture, calm when you want it, but community when you need it. The Murray sunsets here are unbeatable. The golden light bouncing off the river makes every evening feel like a postcard. If you had to choose between sunsets on the river or sunrises by the sea, which would you pick? Type river or sea below. I want to see the split, but maybe you'd prefer a place where the ocean meets adventure, where the whales pass by, the climate stays warm, and life feels like one long holiday. Let's head north. Number 8, Hervey Bay, Queensland. Few towns capture the spirit of relaxed coastal living like Hervey Bay. Known as the whale-watching capital of Australia, this Queensland gem gives retirees front-row seats to one of nature's most breathtaking shows. But Hervey Bay is more than just whales. The bay itself is calm and protected, making it perfect for safe swimming and boating. The esplanade stretches for 14 kilometers, dotted with cafes, markets, and cycle paths that make daily life feel like a resort stay. Healthcare? Top-notch. The region is a medical hub with hospitals and specialists that give retirees peace of mind. Community? Strong. Thousands of retirees have already made this place home, creating networks, clubs, and social groups that welcome newcomers. And here's the kicker. Despite its growing popularity, Hervey Bay is still affordable compared to Sunshine Coast or Gold Coast. You get all the benefits of coastal living without the sky-high costs or relentless crowds. It's the kind of place where life slows down but never stops. Morning swims, afternoon barbecues, evening walks with ocean breezes. It's retirement redefined. If you could spend every winter watching whales from your backyard, would you do it? Drop a shark emoji in the comments if yes. But not everyone wants sand between their toes. Some retirees crave art, culture, and a small-town vibe with big personality. And that's exactly what Bowral delivers. Number 9, Bowral, New South Wales. Some towns are peaceful, others are cultural. But Bowral, tucked into the southern highlands of New South Wales, manages to be both at once. Bowral is known as a retreat for Sydney's wealthy, but it's also become a magnet for retirees seeking elegance without chaos. Rolling green hills, boutique cafes, galleries, and antique stores line the streets. It's the kind of place where you sip wine by the fire in winter and stroll through tulip gardens in spring. Healthcare here is excellent, with hospitals and clinics that cater to the growing retiree population. The town also offers plenty of social activities, from golf clubs to book groups, making it easy to find your circle. And the location? You're less than 90 minutes from Sydney, which means visiting family or catching city events is never a hassle. Yet once you return home, you're back in that quiet country bubble. It's sophisticated, artistic, and deeply community-driven, a hidden pocket of class that's perfect for anyone who wants retirement with flair. Are you more drawn to nature escapes or cultural hubs when you imagine retirement? Tell me below, nature or culture. But if you want one last gem, a seaside escape that blends natural beauty with calm community spirit, then wait until you see this final pick. Number 10. Merimbula, New South Wales. On the far south coast of New South Wales lies Merimbula, a town that feels like the definition of hidden gem. This coastal retreat is famous for its sapphire waters, pristine beaches, and, most importantly, its sense of calm. Unlike the busier coastal hubs up north, Merimbula has avoided mass tourism, keeping its identity as a small, close-knit town intact. Retirees here enjoy a balance of natural wonders and modern convenience. You can fish in the lakes, walk along unspoiled beaches, or join local art and craft groups that make the community vibrant. The seafood is some of the freshest in Australia, oysters straight from the estuaries to your plate. Despite its relaxed pace, Merimbula has strong healthcare access and an airport connecting you to Sydney and Melbourne within an hour. So while you're far enough to feel peaceful, you're never too far from the essentials. For retirees wanting a mix of ocean breeze, natural beauty, and pure tranquility, Merimbula is one of Australia's best-kept secrets. If you'd trade city stress for ocean air tomorrow, type ocean life in the comments. Let's see how many of you dream about it. And with that, we've uncovered 10 towns across Australia that show retirement doesn't have to mean slowing down. It can mean finally living on your terms. So there you have it, 10 of the best small towns in Australia for living or retiring. From beach paradises like Byron Bay and Noosa to inland gems like Bright and Bowral, each place offers its own lifestyle, its own rhythm, and its own promise of a better way to live. What ties them all together? They're affordable compared to big cities, they're community-driven, and they're rich in experiences that go beyond just a nice place to live. They're towns where you can wake up every day feeling like you've stepped into a postcard. And the best part? Most people still overlook them. If you're planning retirement, a big move, or even just daydreaming about a better life, remember this. Sometimes the real treasures aren't in the spotlight. They're hidden just out of view, waiting for you to find them. Which of these towns would you move to first? Drop your favorite in the comments. And if you've made it this far, type hidden gem, so I know you're part of the community that loves discovering secrets most people miss. And don't forget, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden gems from around the world, and share this video with someone who's been dreaming about their perfect escape. Because sometimes the best places to live aren't the ones everyone talks about. They're the ones quietly waiting to change your life.